Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're here on the KSPORT channel, KSPORT Network, and the Coach's Corner. We're here with Coach Harrison from Newark Eastside High School, the Red Raiders. They're coming off a very successful year last year, taking on the Ivy Championship in the Super Football Conference here in Newark, New Jersey, as well as looking to bring the pain and everything else to everybody else that has doubted them and counted them out over the past few years. What we're looking to do is talk to Coach Harrison in regards to their actual success, and probably find a way, see if we can actually see what they're looking to do as far as expanding upon their success from last year, and being that they had graduated most of their senior leadership into college going forward. And yes, you have planes flying over us as we're in the direct path of the Newark Airport, coming into Newark Airport nearby, which is roughly about maybe 5 to 10 minutes away from where we're standing at currently, by plane. But at the same token, by car is roughly about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on traffic currently. We're in a high traffic area right now, so you're going to see all the planes. You're going to probably see a couple kids flying back and forth, and we're looking forward to talking to Coach Harrison. Coach Harrison, welcome to Coach's Corner.
Thanks for having me.
First thing we wanted to do is just get to talking about you personally. What brought you down to Newark Eastside?
Nazir Jackson.
Nazir Jackson, huh?
Yeah. So Nazir and I have been friends since high school.
Okay.
We played against each other when I played at Shabazz. I'm a former Shabazz athlete. And Nazir and I became very, very cool. He called me up. It's like, talking to his guard, somebody to come down there. It was like, I was like, Nas, man, I'm at that point in stage where in my career, I want to be a head coach. So if I'm going down to coach football at Eastside, I need to be the head football coach at Eastside. And that's how that whole coming to Eastside conversation came into play. Nazir Jackson.
Okay. So let's talk about Shabazz for a hot second. You said that you were a former Shabazz High School graduate and alum, former Bulldog. Were you there where Coach McCoon was there?
Yes.
So you was there with Scar and all them guys?
No, so they're younger than I am.
Oh, okay.
So I'm older. I was there with Shaheed White, Greg White, Alan Jones.
Penix?
Amir Penix is after me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jabril Jones, Jabril Stokes, they after me.
Oh, really?
Those guys are after me. Sammy the Bull, Sam Johnson, that's my little cousin. Fro, all of those guys are after me.
So you were class of 2000.
I'm class of 99.
Class of 99. Oh, you were the class
98 season.
Oh, so that was the very first.
We was the first
state championship game.
High school team to play a home playoff game in the city of Newark. That 99 year.
Wow.
Yeah, 98 season. Yep.
Wow. So I had came back to Jersey right about that time. Actually, I came back in 97, but I didn't come down to Shabazz until 2002. So he was gone.
Yeah, I was gone already. Playing college ball. I went to Shaw University.
Sure.
So
how was that experience playing in HBCU?
It's amazing. It's not what was portrayed. The level of competition is extremely high. You're gonna have to play just like you would play at the high level. So it was very, very exhilarating.
So it was that's a D2 school, isn't it?
Division 2, yes.
So you actually had for I understand you had an opportunity to go pro at one point.
I did. I had an opportunity. My wide receiver coach, Jimmy Johnson, was he was the wide receiver coach for the Minnesota Vikings at the time.
Oh, really?
And Travaris Jackson, Adrian Peterson, like those guys were guys who was in Minnesota at the time. So that's what my experience was.
Wow. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So with that being said, with that kind of caliber that's under your belt, how did that transfer into the experiences that you have as a coach now?
it gives you a different mindset. Knowing exactly what it takes to get to play at that level, it gives you an idea of what to teach the kids and what not to teach kids, what to tell them, what not to tell them, things to look at, things to, just to keep their mindset on the right path. Football is a mindset.
Right.
And so you got to be able to have that right mindset.
So with that being said, how would you provide a way where the kids keep their minds in the right direction? Whether it's football, whether it's education, whether it's life in general, how do you keep them in the right direction?
Living in the inner city, and we all know it, one of the toughest things to do is to keep the kids focused.
Right.
Because it's so easy to get distracted.
Right.
Especially walking home, coming from where a lot of the kids come from. To get down in this area, it's 2 buses for some kids. There's no bus that comes directly to the stadium.
Right.
So there are so many things that they interact or deal with before they even get here. And so I do something in the middle of my practices where I do a temperature check. And we come into a circle and we talk to each other, and I ask them how they feeling. And we rate it from 1 to a 10. If they feeling like a 2 or a 3, then I know they had a rough day. And we'll have a different conversation afterwards.
Right.
If they at a 9 or a 10, with some of my guys say, oh, I'm at a 10 today, that means they had a good day, their energy is good, they had a great day, that means they was focused.
Right.
So I find out what they're dealing with, and then I deal with it and have conversations with them, and so they come back with a different mindset. Again,
Okay.
And with that word, mindset.
Mindset is right. So that's key. Being an operative word, mindset, do you feel that your mindset as a coach transitions to what the kids are doing on the field?
Absolutely. When you look at the stock, and I've spoken about this before, a lot of people have backgrounds that they come from.
Right.
And so when you look at the background of who I am and who I've become, right, I was around guys like Dave McCombs, who I played for.
Right.
And then when I came home after coming from Shaw, I coached with Al Tariq White at Weekway.
Right.
Leave Al Tariq White at Weekway and go coach at Shabazz with Darnell Grant.
Right.
So I'm under Darnell Grant. Pause, let me go back. Before I go coaching with Darnell Grant, I spent 2 years with Brian Logan. Right.
Wow. So you got coaching legends. You got coaching legends on top of coaching legends.
Right. And so that's where that support system comes from. And then, mentors, they become great mentors. I call those guys to this day, have conversations with them about things, that happened or something that I saw or dealt with. It didn't sit right with me. And I call those guys because they've been in it.
Right.
With the experience. And even Daniels, the old coach from Orange.
Right.
I talked to him because when I was in school, when we went to Penn State camp, me and Deshaun Morris, right? We was roommates at the camp.
Really?
So a lot of me and him got close, and then we became good friends. And he was a quarterback at Orange. At one point, we thought we was gonna play Orange in the playoffs, but we ended up playing Parsippany because I think Morristown beat them that year.
Yeah.
At 98 years. So
yeah.
That's where that's you got to look at all the background that come behind.
That's a lot. That's a deep background coming from.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not much older, but at the same token, I come from a heritage where I'm an EO guy. So I'm coming from the Shamil Simpkins, the Nate Browns, the Leroy Coopers, Peanut, if you know Peanut. Yeah, so those are my guys. I played with them. I was behind them for the most part, right? But yeah, those are my guys that I come through with. So with the kind of lineage that we have in this 25-mile radius.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I spent a year after I left Darnell Grant. I spent the year as the offensive coordinator at Central High School.
Okay.
Under Julius Mumford.
Okay.
And so once I left there, I went to coach at Brick City. So I coached on that Brick City
National team, national champion.
national championship team.
Okay.
With Nas and Jalen McClain.
They got some burners.
Sanders,
They got
Roz and all of those guys.
all those guys are now in top tier
Jalen
colleges.
Bell, like all those guys that went there. I was on that staff. I was fortunate enough to come in and call an offense for that team.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at my style of coaching and offensively, and it's like, how do you see the things that you see? Like, what do you call it? Why did you call that? That was real risky.
Right. But you're a wide
this,
receiver. You see a lot differently than what.
You got to coach with no fear.
No fear.
If you coach with fear, you back your guys into a corner and it's a fight.
So you don't have that prima donna mentality. You have that. Let's go for it.
No fear. Let's go.
No, let's go. Okay.
I live with it. I die by it. It's what's gonna be.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this question, because after, as we were talking at Media Day last week, something came up to my head, and although I should have asked you then, I think I is better off where you're at in your home field now. How does it feel to be the SFC champion in the Ivy division, now moving into the Freedom division, where you have a little bit more lineage and competition, where you're not strapped down into one little area, and possibly go for a playoff at that.
That was the biggest thing. I think that was the biggest thing that kind of factored into also kids wanting to play here.
Mm-hmm.
Kids want to play for something.
Right.
And then being in the Ivy division, like, even though that Ivy division championship is something, but it's not a state playoff.
Right.
So people aren't gonna look at it as, oh, that's a state championship. They won the champion. They might have won the championship there, but just going off of what people say.
Right.
And a lot of the times what people say dealing with the Ivy division, there are some teams who really should be in the Ivy.
Right.
The Ivy will give you an opportunity, one, to develop your program.
Right.
Whether if you take a freshman kid and put them on varsity, some guys that are freshmen are not ready to play varsity football right now.
Right now.
Body-wise.
Body-wise.
Right? Body-wise, mindset-wise, like they're just not ready. They're too young. They're immature.
Right.
And that's another one of the things. Like, I had freshmen that was 13 years old
playing
varsity football against guys that's 18, getting ready to go to college already, so that Ivy division gave us an opportunity to reshape, reform, and rebuild.
Okay.
Right? And I think we're gonna be ready for what's to come.
Well, you got some burners on your schedule. What I saw. You got EO second game of the season. I believe you have.
So I'll give you the rundown. So week 0, of course, we opened up with Plainfield in the classic up at West Orange.
Okay.
Who's also coming off a great year.
Yeah.
They made a run. They went to the playoffs last year.
Right.
They're returning a bunch of guys off of that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're going to come to play. So we're going to come to play also. And then second week we play against Columbia High School. We play against Columbia High School. And then week 3 we got East Orange. And so technically week 2 is 0. But we got East Orange, and then the rest of the schedule you have Union City, you have Bayonne, you have Orange, you have Irvington, you have Hudson Catholic, and you got Clifton.
You got Clifton on the back end of that?
So we got Irvington week 8. But if you look at that schedule,
that's a packed schedule.
In the last 5 years, you have 4, maybe 5 teams on that schedule that have been to a state championship.
Pretty much.
If not 3 that actually won the state championship.
Pretty much.
So coming out
one
of the
going
Ivy,
back to back.
That's and again, I see everything and I see what everybody's saying, and I love it because what it does is it motivates me.
Right.
It makes me say, all right, y'all must not know what type of coach I am. We gonna play.
Okay.
And that's just what it is.
Okay, so you're coming. You're bringing the kitchen sink.
Absolutely.
You're bringing the kitchen sink and everything else from down the hill.
Absolutely.
Okay, Coach. So Coach Harrison. So let's talk about some of your players. You graduated a senior heavy team last year. What is it? And now you mentioned that you had 13-year-olds that are now sophomores and veterans of the team and leadership. Who are the ones that we should be looking out for?
Well, I've been thinking about something, and I wanted to do it to help put the city on notice. Just not for Eastside only, but for everybody too. Like, this is your Newark watch list, right? To give you an idea of who these kids are, because unless you go to a game or you really paying attention, you don't know who these kids are.
No.
Right?
Right.
And so everybody say, oh, I got this kid, he's a 4-star, he's a 5-star. And a lot of times you get those rankings because you're going to these camps.
Right.
Some of these kids can't afford to go to these camps. Some of these kids can't pay for all $40, $80, $120. They can't do it.
Or
They can't
travel too.
They can't jump on a plane and fly when they want to.
Right.
Right? So I have a guy like a Joakim Brown, right? Got a UConn offer, got a Stony Brook offer. He's being viewed by Monmouth, which are all pretty much local schools, right? Joakim was my starting quarterback as a freshman.
I saw some tape on him. Yeah, he's pretty decent.
Yeah. He was my starting quarterback as a freshman, but he's now my starting receiver. My starting quarterback the following year after Joakim came in was a freshman.
Wow.
But he came in Xavier Smith, right? Xavier Smith, I saw the rankings and the poll and all of that stuff. Like, unfortunately, we don't have a person that's doing our stats to take all of the stats to make sure that everything is getting entered. But Xavier is a 28 touchdown passes, 7 rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
He probably had close to 1,000 yards rushing, but also close to 1,700 yards passing.
Last year.
So currently, as a sophomore going into his junior year, he already has over 3,500 yards passing.
Wow.
So those guys are guys that you should watch for.
Okay.
Then, Gershom Thompson, a running back, post the kids. Gershom Thompson, running back. Issa Thomas, sophomore running back, also dangerous in the kick return.
Right.
He's probably going to be my starting corner this year. And Malachi West Williams. Like, that's just the name of a couple guys. Last year we graduated 7.
Okay.
We graduated 7 seniors.
Okay.
So we're returning 57 kids.
Nice.
So when you look at that number, it's going to be 57 this year. It's going to be 37 next year. Then when I looked at it, I said, yo, holy crap, I got 35 freshmen that just came in.
So you're going to be...
So it's going to be interesting to see.
So you're freshman heavy no matter what you do.
Absolutely.
And the majority of them are straight out of the East Ward.
Out of the East Ward.
You don't have any crossovers coming from the South or the North.
Nah.
Not like it used to be where...
No. where you got 10, 12, 15 kids, majority of the team, no.
Yeah.
Like most of my kids are Ironbound kids.
Really? That's something to say. You know, because the fact that you guys were really known for your hockey, your soccer, baseball, and basketball.
Absolutely.
Football was always on the back burner. For a while. For me, when I first started doing this, I was actually with McCombs in that 2002 year when they went to the States, and Newark Eastside was making a push at the playoffs at that point in time, and that was the last.
Isaiah Jackson and them. That was that last year.
That was that last year.
Taquan Wilson.
Yeah.
Those guys, Kwani.
Yeah.
I spoke to those guys, and they actually come down from time to time and talk to the kids. Like, I think we may have re-energized some of the Eastside alum. Like, I've been getting messages and phone calls, like Tony Sanchez and Cairo Inman. Like,
whoa!
I've been getting
those guys came out when I came out.
So I've been talking to guys who are like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they the energy.
Yeah.
I'm feeding off of that. Like, I'm actually in the process trying to create the Eastside Football Alumni Hall of Fame. Like, I'm doing some things.
So as long as you keeping it moving,
it's gonna grow.
It's gonna grow.
Yes, sir.
So everybody's gonna have to buy a ticket just to get into that one side of the stadium. I remember when the track used to be right where the sideline is, and everything was pushed back a little bit. But I used to run 100s and 200s on this very track.
It's the center track.
The center track, yeah.
I
and I ran it then, but that was when I was much younger. Than I was about their age, you know, the Pop Warner kids' ages at that point in time. So yeah, but I was just telling somebody earlier that, you know, as I got older, I forgot where this place was, and it's a hidden gem.
It definitely is.
It's a hidden gem. He's out of all the other places in all the stadiums like Shabazz, Unnerman, School Stadium, and even Westside for that matter. If they even had games at the park, those would have been the spots to go to for those games, right? And even if the Central had a field to play on by their field across the street over there by that,
still right by the school.
It's still right by the school, Nat Turner.
Yeah.
So, you know, everybody had a spot, but nobody knew where to find Eastside. Eastside was always going up to Barringer or somewhere else just to get.
My first year here coaching.
Yeah.
We played every game at Barringer. Every home game was at Barringer.
So now you got your home games here.
Yes.
How does that feel?
It's great. You should see the atmosphere. The stands be packed. It'd be a lot of people. We get a lot of support, a lot of fans, a lot of family come down to the games. And sometimes I turn around and I just be like, wow, we did that.
So eventually you're gonna have to get another set of stands on the other side, right?
I hope that would be fun. That would really give you the stadium atmosphere.
Stadium instead of that one side. That one side.
Yeah, but it's all right. It's home.
It's home, right? Well, Coach Harrison, you know, I'm not gonna keep you longer because I know you guys got to go off to camp very soon. I just want to ask you this: if you had an opportunity to run the tables, who would you like to see in the playoffs? I'm just saying, on your first year out.
Honestly, of course I gotta go after Big Bro, man. He taught me a lot, and that's West Orange.
Oh, really?
Like, those is my guys. Like, me and Don played together. Don Massey played together. DM, shout out to DM. Right? And Darnell Grant, great mentor. Played against him when he coached at Eastside too. He ain't gonna never tell nobody that.
Yeah, I know he did.
Coached at Eastside.
I know he did. He started there. Yep.
It would be great, man. Like, I coached with those guys at Shabazz, so I was on that staff with them. It's you know, I played them my first year. They gave me an old-fashioned spanking. That is what some people call it. Like, you know, that's just a big brother tap, man. To let you know, but you know, we grew up a little bit. We grew up a little bit, and my guys are playing football.
Okay.
So if I had to say it, you know, I think that would be fun. That would be a real big game. Everybody would come see it because they know the bond that Grant and I have.
Okay, cool. Now let me ask you this question: as the planes are coming in faster and faster, if you had an opportunity to publicize your game, how would you do it?
That's a very good question. We've been trying to figure out how to, you know, get the streaming and all of those things so that people can actually watch the games and see more. You know, it's hard to get down here during that time. A lot of traffic, of traffic from this area, a lot of traffic on 1 and 9 because we're in the middle of everything.
Right.
1 and 9 and 78 is right here. Like, you can literally see the trucks and stuff
coming off of that. Yeah.
So they right there.
Right.
And then you got air traffic
coming right through.
Air traffic flying around.
Yeah.
Air traffic flying around.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting to figure that out. Like, that's something I would definitely I could use some help with.
Okay, well, no problem. Well, Coach, anytime that we are in the area, we'll definitely be wanting to try to help you out in one way or another. If it comes down to this, throwing out this back signal and say, come on down to our game, we'll come on down. We'll probably air it out on our Sport Free channel here, as well as our YouTube and all other social media channels that we have available to us. And Coach, I just want to say thank you for taking your time out, coming to Coach's Corner, and having us here at Eastside's home.
I appreciate that.
Iron Brown Stadium.
That's what we're doing, man.
You know.
I mean, we can see the younger guys getting ready. 10U is getting ready. We're gonna stretch this thing out and get ready to.
And are you guys gonna be part of Newark Pop Warner, or are they?
Yeah, they're no Pop Warner.
Okay. And you gonna be playing independent games as well?
They're gonna play a few. We're gonna play a couple crossovers.
Okay.
Just to get ready. That's what it's about. Development. We talk about that too. It's making sure the kids is being developed and taught the right way.
And exposure, and since you have that natural experience,
There you go.
might as well
I can't use it anymore. Take it.
take it. All right,
good.
Coach. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out. As we're heading on out. Head on out. We're going to be okay. And I'm going to be taking the time out and say goodbye and have a good season. And we were looking forward to see you throughout the 2024 season and into everything else. And wishing you very well on your endeavors going forward.
I appreciate you. I always say this. This season is dedicated to these one words. It's not going to go how you think. That's it.
All right now. I heard it. As you heard it from the coach.